Hello, Professor.
Yes.
I have a question.
Okay.
The assignment that you have due on 9/23, right?
Yep.
Basically, it's we have to make a table with the program given to us, and what do we have to put? What details do we have to put on the table again?
So all you're going to do is use this week's information to create a table where you're going to list each of the 4 team members and then all of your classes, each of your classes,
Right.
and then an image that's going to describe the classes. So it should look something like this. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
But instead of all these person, the other classes and an image below it. So it should be the first row is team member name, each of the member names,
Right.
then course name, course name, course name, course name, course name. You know, some of you might only have 4 classes, some of you might have 5, some of you might have 3. And then in each block, there's going to be a corresponding picture. So
Any picture? Sorry.
if you open that WYSIWYG link I gave you in the first week, so if you click this link, WYSIWYG, what you see is what you get, editor, you'll get this automatic code on the left-hand side. So what you basically just do is go on slide 21 from this week's presentation. You copy that code I provide you.
Mm-hmm.
You plop it in the body here. And you could delete this as a heading, this is a paragraph. And then you change the table border to 2. So this way you actually see the table. Because if it's 0, you're just going to see the word course name pop up. So then you click run, and it lists that info in that row. But because you might have 4 class or 5 classes total, you're going to highlight this section TR for table row through closed table row, highlight it, copy, and then paste it 5 times total. So I have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So add 1 more. So this way you have 6 of them. I'm assuming 5 is the most courses any of you guys are going to have. So then at the first course name, instead of that being course name, you'll edit the text to say team member name. And then click run. And now it changes that to team member name. So then where it says ampersand MBSP semicolon, in the first one under team member name, you'll enter all of the team members. So let's say Bob, Pat, Jim, and Jill. And every time you make an edit, click run to see that it shows up correctly there. So then for
Okay.
the course names, you're going to go through and edit the course name. So for the first one, just all of you do the same, put this class in first
Okay.
and get rid of the ampersand NBSP. So now that all of the first course name just lists this course. And then you're going to add a picture that represents the class. So you go to slide 34 and see where it has TD and then image source.
Yes.
You're going to highlight that code through the NTD. And put it after it. So that it should now be internet and web applications. The bracket, image source, equals in quotes, whatever your URL is. You can get rid of the alt because we don't need it. And then width equals 100, height equals 100, closed bracket, and then the close of the TD tag. So then you're going to search and find a picture of whatever you think represents the class. So I just Googled internet and found this image. So I copy the URL here. And inside the quotes for image source, I go ahead and edit them. And then you run it, and now you see the image below that. So if you decided to have the same image for all 4 team members, you would just highlight that image source and copy and paste it after internet and web applications reach. And then run, and now you have that course completed. And then for the other courses.
So it's an image for each course that we're doing. We put a corresponding image. Okay.
Yep. And
I
then
understand.
you would do the same thing for the other 4 rows. Here in the TD, you edit and put in the name. But I'm assuming this is going to be the only class you all 4 have together. So each 4 of you will probably have different courses listed for the others. And you do the same thing. You'll embed an image underneath it to see what it looks like.
Okay.
And then, like I said, some of you might only have 4 classes. Some of you might have 5. So some of these boxes might be blank. So then what you do when all of that is done, you're going to highlight all of your HTML code from the WYSIWYG. You'll copy it and then go in Notepad and paste it into Notepad. And then you'll do File, Save As. And instead of save as type text, it'll go all files. And then you'll save it as, let's say, schedule, whatever you decide to name it, and then .html. So I'm going to save it here into the folder where I have all the PowerPoints for this class. So then when I save it, I can find it there in whatever folder I saved it in. And then I'll right click and open. So I have Firefox open for this class. So I'm going to do open with Firefox. And then it opens and shows you the full depiction of what it looks like.
Okay. I'm gonna have to get all of their courses. I have to like contact them.
Okay.
But,
Well,
okay.
like I
Yeah.
said, all the team members should be working together on this. So, they should tell you, this is the image I want for this class. This is the image I want from that class. So this way you know whether there's 3 classes you have to put in for them, 4 classes, 5 classes, etc.
Okay, I understand. Because I was a bit confused on like how many images we're supposed to use, but thank you for clearing that up.
So let's say you're Bob and you only have 3 classes, right? So your first one's done, you put in the other 2. So you'd put in the course name and then whatever you think relates to that class. So say it's a math class, you might want to have a picture of some kind of math equation. Say the other class is biology. You might want to have a picture of a frog. And then each person would have their specific course name and an image reflecting what that course is.
Okay.
And then when you have that all set up, like I just showed you, you save it in Notepad as a .html file. And then you'll go into next week's folder and you'll see the team assignment HTML. You'll click on that. It'll ask you to upload file. You select wherever your file is. You click the submit button, and then I'll go ahead and grade it. If I see any big issue and you submitted it early, I'll reach out to the group members, but only one person in the group has to submit it.
Okay. And one more question. Do we have anything else, like any other assignments that need to be done, or is that the only thing?
So that is right now the only thing you have to worry about.
Okay.
So even though that's the only thing that's due shortly, you should be looking at that website rough draft proposal that you're going to have to put together, but that's not due until the 7th of October. But if you go in the 10.1 folder and you see the instructions for it, you'll notice that I have a link for examples that have been done previously, and you could look through them and see what you have to do. Basically, you and your team are creating a website, and the proposal is, hey, we're doing this fake website for somebody. This is, we're going to give an intro of who the group members are. The problem is, why are we making this website? The solution is, what are we doing to solve the problem? The deliverables are what's on the website. The process is, who's going to do what, how long is it going to take? And the cost is, how much does it take, cost us? Are we going to charge them, per page we're doing, per hour? Are we going to charge them security, maintenance costs, that type of thing? But
Okay.
the
Well,
HTML1 is the one that's due more recent.
okay. Well, that was basically the only question I had. Thanks for helping.
No problem. Thank you. Pranav, you have a question?
Yeah, I do. So, do you expect us to start the team assignment today?
No. So it's not due till the 23rd. But like I said, week's this week's presentation and all this stuff is basically what you use to do it.
Okay.
Next week's is just, if you looked at the PowerPoint, like advanced XHTML really has nothing to do with the assignment. So if you wanted to work on it this week, get it done early, that's perfectly fine. But you don't necessarily have to do it today.
Yeah, and also when I saw the announcement, you did yours on sports, right?
So that example I provided was just to, show you guys how to embed images into a table.
I'm glad you added
Click
Dawson
and open
Knox
that.
there.
Whereas what you guys are going to do is more like what's in the slides. So like you create that table and you embed the images into it. So like I just gave this example here, you're gonna have the first row is the team members' names, and then each 4 people. Then
Yeah, and then
however courses you have, I added 5 because I'm assuming the most anybody is gonna have is 5. Some of you might have 3, some of you might have 4. You're each gonna put in the names of the classes and then an image to reflect that. But like I mentioned, you don't need to include that alt because the extra description, the alt, isn't necessarily needed here. So you don't even need to have that. You just want to have your image source, that URL, and then just set the width and height to 100. Otherwise, the images might be too big to fit all 4 in a streamlined column like this.
yeah, but the thing is if you put the alt in, even though like would you be okay with it if
Yeah,
it's
that's fine.
fine? And
So
also another thing I wanted to ask you was do all of us need to have the same project or only one person should have it?
So if you put in the alt here, you might just say internet for
Oh,
that image instead of baseball, like in my example. So all the alt is it just describes the image that you have. So you can have it there. You don't need to have it there. It's up to you.
yeah, and
But only
also
one person in the group needs to submit it. So there's
oh
4 people. You just work together with the other 3 people. And let's say one person does it all on their laptop as you guys give input. Only that one person would submit it.
yeah, because I just want to make sure because I don't want to lose points on this project.
That's why, like I said, I think we still have that room, University Hall 28 set up. So, during this time, you might even want to go in there tonight or next Tuesday and work on this and make sure it's all set up.
Like, would it be okay if we started like next Tuesday? Because on Friday, Saturday, I'm not on campus.
Yeah, like it said, you guys have that set up. It should be set up here. If you click groups, you guys should have your group set up to where you can email each other on here.
Like, we have a group chat on WhatsApp, so
Okay.
would that be okay too?
Yeah. So you would just go back and forth. Hey, when do you guys have time? We can meet on Zoom. We can meet on campus, whatever it may be, in order to work this together and get it all done.
Yeah, and when is the first team project due again?
So this is not due until Monday, September 23rd.
That's in 2 weeks.
Yep. So it's in next week's folder. And you scroll to the bottom here and you'll see team assignment HTML.
Professor, if I don't have any more questions, I can leave, right?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Have a
Have a
good day.
great night. And you would click on that and select upload files. Find wherever the file is. Click open and then submit when you're done.
Oh, okay. But for the project, do you have to do it on the link where you're doing the class exercises?
To where I link the class exercises.
Yeah, like the WYSIWYG.
So you're going to do all this in the WYSIWYG and click run to make sure that it works.
Okay.
And then you highlight all of that code and you're going to copy and paste it in a Microsoft Notepad or Notepad++. I forget the name of the version on Mac. I think it's Note Word or WordPad, something like that.
That's okay. That's okay.
And then you do File, Save As.
Okay.
And instead of text documents, you select all files.
All files.
And then whatever you name it, HTML assignment, assignment 1, whatever you want to name it. And then it would be whatever that name is, .html. And then you click save. And then you'll find wherever it is, and you'll right click it and select open. In this example, Google Chrome, or open with whatever web browser you choose. It'll open up so it's the entire web browser, and you could see exactly what you have.
Okay. And like also, so is that what we gotta use to complete the project?
Yep, this is what you're doing for the HTML team assignment.
Yeah, and
So
another
you would
question.
just fill in, let's say Bob only has 3 classes. So he'd have 2 more here with the class names and 2 more images. Let's say Pat has 5. He'd have every block here full. And Jim only has 4. He'd have 3 more full, etc.
Yeah, and like another question I have is like, well, sorry for asking so many questions. I just want to like make sure
Well,
I get
that's
an
the
idea of
point of
what
these
I'm doing.
meetings. Go ahead.
So like technically after we put it in the untitled notepad, like we save it and upload it to you.
Yep. So you
Okay.
would save it. You're going to open it first in a web browser to make sure everything's here. So like you want to make sure that you have everybody's class names listed. All of them have the associated image related to them.
Okay.
And then in next week's folder down the bottom, team assignment HTML, like I just showed you, click on that. Only one of you needs to do this. Then you click upload files, browse local files. Whoever has it saved on their computer, you click it, you click open, and then you'd click submit. And then I go into my grade center. It'll show that somebody submitted it for your team. I'll look at it. Like I said, if there's some kind of big error, I'll reach out to the entire team and be like, yep, you still have time to fix this up. Go ahead and fix this up and resubmit it. Otherwise, if it looks good, I'll grade it. It's out of 50 points. So the 5 team assignments that are basically just homework assignments are going to be graded out of, did you complete it? And does it look correct? So I've been doing web development for 21 years. So I can literally just look at it and be like, yeah, that's what I look for. 50 out of 50.
And but like technically if somebody else submits it, so do I have to do it?
So let's say there's 4, you each have the 4 team members for the team. If 2 of you submit and it's the same thing, that's perfectly fine. But ideally, you want to communicate, whether it be WhatsApp, text message, whatever your group is communicating on, be like, okay, I'm going to be the person to submit it. Now, make sure that they, they're telling you the truth, because you'll get an email saying that, oh, here's, you submitted it, on 9/16, and they could just, show you a screenshot. All right, it's submitted. But if you
But we'll still get full credit, right?
Yeah. So all 4 team members will have the same score out of 50.
Yeah, but what if all the members like submitted it together on their same computer? Would that be okay?
So if all 4 team members submit it, I'll probably just look at, the first team member on the alphabetical grading list.
Oh, okay. I'm just trying to make sure. So thank you so much.
No problem.
Have a good night. I don't think
care.
I have any more questions.
Thomas, question?
Yeah, can I share my screen so I can show you my project so far?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay. Multiple. Okay, you should be able to share.
I'll show you my WYSIWYG. I'll just have to expand it a bit. So this is what I have so far, and the question is that I have this little bit of a gap here in between all my okay. For some reason my wait, let me just give it a space. There we go. I have a gap between all of my all my classes. Is that normal?
Yes. So what's going to happen is when you get rid of these, N, B, S, P, and put in the name of the course, the name of for all three of the other team members and their images, it's going to even out, if that makes sense. So right
Okay.
now, all of your info is in that second column there. Once you put everything in,
It'll
it's going
straighten
to
out. Okay.
expand and kind of fit. Because you see, like the last column there, Kevin's got the hyphenated name. So his block is bigger than
Yeah.
Pranov's and Clever's.
Yes.
So once you put everything in there, it'll basically kind of, for the most part, even it out and make it kind of, okay, the first column is going to be very small because it's just course. Then the other four columns have the pictures. So they're going to be different.
Okay.
The only recommendation with that is make sure the height is the same for all of them, for the images.
The height, they're all 150, I believe.
Okay.
Um, okay. And everything else looks good?
Yep. And like I showed you, you'd copy the code
I have Notepad++,
into
by the
Notepad
way.
to save it and then submit the HTML file.
Okay.
Like I
All
said,
right.
only one team member has to do it for the entire team.
Okay. All right, I'll go then.
I'm back.
All right. So you had a question about communicating with your team here, Homero?
Yeah. I'm
So
just wondering about
on
that.
on Web Campus, you should see this on the side where it says groups.
Yeah.
If you click that, there's 5 groups listed on my screen.
Yeah.
I'm assuming on your screen it might only show one.
Yeah, it's only group 3 for me.
Okay. So you should be able to click group 3. And then it lists all of your group members. So you have Sydney, Terrell was just here, and Nicholas. And see where it says send email here?
Yeah.
You should be able to click that and it'll email the rest of your group members. So the other group said they're doing a group chat on WhatsApp. So you could just send an email to the rest of your group and be like, hey, we have these group team assignments for this class. How do you guys want to communicate? Do you want to do a group text, group chat on WhatsApp? Do you just want to email? Do you want to meet in person? That would probably be the best way to start. And then I'm assuming most of the kids your age are going to do, the group chat and just, I guess, text back and forth to communicate how you're going to do the specific first HTML assignment. But it's not due till the 23rd, so you basically have a little under 2 weeks.
All right. That's what I was wondering. Like,
Yeah.
I think the best way would be the email and then, just
Yeah,
give
and then
everybody a
go from
heads up.
there. Do you want to do a group chat? The other group said they're doing it all on WhatsApp, which is basically the same thing.
All right, I'll work on that later.
Right.
But yeah, that was the only thing that I kind of wanted to know.
All right, no problem. Have a great night.
Also, about the videos, I've been watching them and taking notes. Do I have
Okay.
to do anything else with the videos for now, or just learn?
So basically, as I mentioned the first night, so the way I've taught these classes at FDU before is because I live almost 2 hours away. Dr. Mondale would allow me to teach half my classes there on campus and half of them online. When I taught them fully online on Zoom, nobody ever came. So I was just like, yep, I'll just record them and then they could just meet with me and ask questions as they need to. So basically just watch them, take notes, and we're going to do this HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Basically for all of those, there's going to be 3 videos. And one of them is basically going to be everything you need to know to do that assignment. Then the other 2, PHP forms and the SEO, they're just one video that's going to help you do that assignment. And then the rest is basically just these little assignments related to building your website for the class that you're probably just going to do on like Wix.
All right. Thank you.
No problem.
Oh yeah, also have a nice day.
You too. Thank you.
Hey, Professor.
Luke, how are you?
I'm good. I was just so our thing that it's due is due the 23rd, correct?
Yep.
And we're supposed to work with a team, our group, right?
Yep.
On all like the assignments.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So okay, I was just making sure.
So
I actually went to
I gave the
actually
example here that I made. So each of the
okay.
person's team member, you're just building a little table to display everybody's schedule. So there's 4 people in your team. Each one is going to have their own column. They're going to list all their classes, and then you just embed an image to show it. And that's why, like I just mentioned, so HTML, there's technically 3 lectures, but the homework basically really focuses on this week. So that's why it kind of was like,
Yeah.
pop in and look. I forget which week. So CSS is going to be the same thing that will start on the 24th. It'll be 3 weeks of that topic. And then the assignment will be focused on that. And I'll basically be like, oh yeah, this week's lesson is the one that's going to help you with that homework. You should really pop in on the Zoom meeting.
Okay. I actually just went to the class just to sit and see if anyone else came. No one else is here.
And
But
I'll actually post this recording here because of all the questions everybody had for the homework.
okay.
Probably plop it under here, under the lecture recording, and
I
basically
like how you
Zoom meeting recording or question recording, whatever it may be.
I like how you made a fantasy roster for the example.
Yeah, so
That's
basically,
funny.
where did it go? Here we go. So I just showed this example here of embedding images into a table for that example. But you'll notice with the code, so like if you right click
Inspect.
where I saved the code for the
The
WYSIWYG
page.
here, see how I changed the table border to 2? That's
Yeah.
why in this table that I created to give you an example of the homework, there's actually a border, whereas in the fantasy, there's no border because the table
Yeah, that's what
border
I
is set to
noticed. That's
0.
what kind of confused me for a second. But now I understand it.
Yep.
All right.
And like I said, I'll post this recording of tonight's meeting up online, just so everybody kind of has an understanding of what to do. Because I'm
Okay,
pretty sure
yeah.
most of the people, they were like, oh, we just got to watch the videos. And, they may not even show up and ask the questions, even if they have one.
Yeah.
And they kind of figure like, oh, at least one person from our group is going to go. And that may not necessarily be the case. So,
Mhm. Yeah, one kid in my group, I think I'm in group 5. Um, he like emailed all of us from the start after your first meeting and created like a group me, but
okay,
only 2 other people joined, so we have 3 people in the group me currently.
okay,
So maybe I'll send an email to help let him join the next or whoever it is, if it's a girl.
okay.
But
Yeah, as soon as I get this posted, I'll put it right above the HTML tables here.
okay, and then
Just so everybody can look back at that. Because Pramanov and Thomas had a number of questions too. So
okay. Um, and how to hand it in? Do you want all of us to hand it in,
as
or
long as
just
one group member hands it in, that's fine. So if you go into
okay?
next week's folder and you scroll to the bottom here, HTML assignment, you'd click
Yeah.
on that. You'd select upload files here, browse local files. You find it wherever it is on your laptop. You click open and then click submit.
Okay.
So like Pranav was asking, like, what if more than one person submits it? That's fine. Ideally, if they submit it, they're going to get an email from Web Campus. Okay, we got it. And basically they should confirm it with the other 3 members of the group. But if you have like 2 group members submit it just to make sure, that's fine. Like I told him, I'd probably just look at whoever's first on the grade center, like it goes alphabetically. So whoever I first see on that list for your group, I'll probably grade that. All 4 of you will get the same grade. Like I said, if you submit it early and I see there's an issue, I'll email the whole group, oh, fix this up, and you'll have time to resubmit it.
Okay. And wait, so for the assignment, it's we have to add like a image
Yes, so
too.
in this week's lecture, I show you how to
Yeah,
embed
yeah, I
an
saw how we
image.
do that.
Right.
But like, what does the image have to be for like a class?
So the image is just going to be like a representation of what you think of the class.
Oh,
So it
okay.
could just be, hey, I hate this professor. So maybe like an upset face.
Upside face, yeah.
Or,
Okay.
hey, it's a math class. Here's a math equation. Like it
All
basically
right, yeah,
something
that's easy.
associated with the class.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
Thank
like
you.
maybe your professor's funny. You might have like a comedian image, you know, or it could just be like I said, like I have internet here. I found a picture of the internet and just use that for the example of this class.
All right. Thank you.
No problem.
I'll let you know if I have any more questions. Thank you. Have a nice night.
You too. Thanks.